everyone, and welcome back to Travels and Tranquility. I'm Lauren.
Devin.
Today we're bringing you the last of our Iceland rewatch series.
It's been a lot of fun so far.
It has been a lot of fun so far. We're enjoying it, and I hope you guys are too. So, the point of us doing this, these are the first videos that we ever posted to YouTube, so it's fun to look back on those memories. And this was our first international trip together. That's really cool. And the first trip that we went on knowing that we were filming it for the purposes of starting a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So it's all of these special firsts.
That Iceland would be a good intro for that.
Yeah. So today we're watching the last two videos in our Iceland travel vlog playlist. And I'll make sure to leave that linked in the description box below so you can see the originals and so you can see the other two rewatching ones that we've done. And this first one is Husavik and Diamond Circle. Ready?
Yes.
I'm excited. So Husavik was the middle part of our trip. We talked about before how we went to Reykjavik and then we went up to Husavik, which is northeast of Iceland, and then we went back to Reykjavik.
It's basically the other side of the country.
Yeah. So excited. Husavik, we've talked about before, was the big reason why we went.
It's such a pretty little town.
Yeah. Oh, it's a voiceover.
So this video, we're doing a bit of a voiceover because we didn't really talk too much in the footage. At this point in our trip,
I forgot we did that.
we're both kind of sick. Devin, definitely so. You can hear it in your voice. But I was at the beginning of getting sick, I feel like.
Yeah, I think this video and the next one were voiceover.
Huge bummer. Yeah. And it absolutely is the fault of some folks that I hung out around. I mean, we did stuff right before we left. And
Yeah.
I can blame my family for that.
No, it's just stress and everything like that. It was a lot. But anyway.
The drive across the entire country it felt like a lot.
Yeah.
It was a big day.
It was a big day. It was a long travel day for sure. It was a lot of time in the car. Probably 5 or 6 hours. Because we stopped.
And along the way to Husavik, we took kind of a detour to go.
This was cool.
So Lauren, right away, she fell in love with this, I think through a screensaver?
Well, it's definitely a common background, desktop background photo in Microsoft. We should wait. I want to see it. Yeah. That's definitely on a lot of screensavers and on a lot of desktop backgrounds for sure.
Photos taken from the beach and stuff. It's called It's called Vertzerker.
It's hard.
It's supposed to be a rhino, right?
Yeah. It's a sea stack. So that's what it is. And it's shaped like a rhino, and it's cute. Look how cute that is.
Lauren fell in love with this.
Yes.
And she would not let it go. Mm-hmm. This was the one thing, this was probably the one thing she actually wanted to see out of all.
Right. And I really wanted to see it on our way to Husavik.
And we ended up going off, we had to basically off-road for 10 miles.
Yeah.
To get to this thing. And it was totally worth it, obviously.
Yeah.
And, she wanted to do it, so we were going to do it. But it's just so funny, the things that we get stuck on of wanting to see.
Yeah, for sure. It was a stressful drive. So we had already been, it's maybe halfway between Reykjavik and Husavik, maybe a little bit closer to Husavik area. And so we'd already been in the car for a few hours driving, right? And then we have to take this detour, and we didn't know this, I think, going into it, but it was, Deborah was saying, off-roading.
The whole time. Just dirt the whole time.
It was this dirt gravel road, and I think you mentioned it in the last rewatch video. The car that we had rented just had no suspension or whatever that's called, because you could feel everything.
Every bump.
So the whole time we were terrified we were going to break down. It was a really narrow little gravel road. So we were terrified we were going to break down, that we were going to hit somebody, that we'd get stranded. it was very scary the whole time. We didn't know what was going on. We were scared. But it was worth it. Like, it was really cool to see. But it did add a lot of time to our day because we had to go so slow on the road. But it was really cool to see.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Which I think is so cool.
So you can't see it, the rhino's head is on the left, and that's a little floor.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I do think it's really cool. It was a really nice viewing area, and it had this like little waterfall.
It was really built out.
Yeah, it was pretty.
And this was like one of the things that definitely made me want to.
Was one of the things.
This whole detour was definitely me inspired.
Yeah, I wanted to go so bad. I think it's so cute. I can see it.
Yeah, of course.
Scared the crap out of us because it was super bumpy. And I feel like in the rental car that we had, like you could feel.
You just felt every single bump. And you could go down to the beach. I don't think we did that.
Lauren, I tried to go, but Lauren yelled at me.
It was scary. It was really scary. But it was really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was scared that you wouldn't be able to get back out, you know, because it was really steep.
Sure, that's fair.
Yeah. So this tunnel, we had to pay a toll for. We didn't know that going into it.
No, it's brand new.
Yeah, there's like 2 ways to get to like Akureyri, Husavik areas. One is like going around, right?
You have to go up this cape
Yeah.
and around.
Mm-hmm. Or you can go underwater and go under this tunnel that takes you like under, it's kind of like it's not a perfect shape, right? It's almost like a little U, and there's like water here, but you could go through the water using the tunnel. I think it was like $7 or something like that. It was not a lot. And then you drive through Akureyri, and then you arrive in Husavik. Husavik was much smaller than we expected. We knew it was small, but it was a lot smaller than we expected.
It's a little baby fishing town.
Yeah.
It's so small, in fact, that when we booked because we were there for 3 or 4 days, when we booked the hotel, the Husavik Cape Hotel, shout out to the Yaya Ding Dong Museum, the guy was like, oh, we put you in our best room because people usually don't stay with us that long.
Yeah, and it was unusual for them that we were staying that long. It was kind of weird, and it made us nervous that they said that. Because most people stay there for like a night doing the ring road trip, so they'll say. And it was very much a former hostel that had been converted into a hotel.
Right. There was better accommodations on the other side of town.
We should have stayed in Akureyri.
Well, for sure. But if you want to stay in Husavik, the Cape Hotel is beautiful. They were very nice. But I think more of our speed would have been the bigger hotel across the city.
That was in Akureyri.
No, there was one on the other side of town. There was a little one.
One of the big reasons why we wanted to go to Husavik, which is about 5 or 6 hours from Reykjavik,
It's right there.
up in the north, was because of this Eurovision, The Story of Fire Saga, which is on Netflix right now, and you should definitely watch it. But that movie brought us to Husavik because it was partially filmed here, and so we did a really cool walking tour. Like
that was really neat. Yeah, that blue house was in the movie. It was his like childhood home.
Yeah.
Where Will Ferrell lived. It's not that really.
And we got to do the walking tour with one of the background actors.
That was really cool.
That was very cool.
So we were just talking about how one of the things that we did in Husavik was a walking tour with like a local who had actually been an extra in Eurovision. And so we got to walk around Husavik and see all the different filming locations that they used, which was a lot of fun. And we got to hear some like behind the scenes stories from her about what it was like filming the movie and having like all the people there to film.
And there was a couple of scenes where they got a lot of locals to be extras in it. And so she was in the scene where Will Ferrell's ringing the bell. If you've seen the movie, he's ringing the bell in Husavik because
the church.
He got the letter, and she's standing outside looking up at him.
Yeah, see,
there's the church.
That church is in the movie.
Yeah,
and that's where he's ringing the bell.
It's also a really cool bookstore right across the street from the church.
Yeah, a little souvenir kind of thing.
Yeah, that bookstore that we just talked about, that souvenir place that also had books. It was kind of like a scrapbooking kind of like stationery sort of store.
It was like a papyrus store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a copy of Harry Potter in Icelandic, the first Harry Potter.
Oh, that's right. We did get it there.
That's what inspired us to get like a Harry Potter book in every new country that we visit in the local language. That came from Husavik. That's where we got that idea. Husavik Kirke. It's the name of the church.
It's just Husavik's church. That's what it means in English.
Mm-hmm. So that was pretty cool. The start of a thing that we still do to this day, 3 years later. We haven't had a complete set yet, but we will.
We're almost there.
At the end of our next cruise, we will have a full Harry Potter set.
In June, we're going to have a full set.
Yeah. This church was really pretty. Right, iconic landmark. We were so excited to like see stuff that we recognized from the film just on our own walking around, and then meeting with the tour guide and like getting more behind the scenes story was cool.
Because again, like the movie was shot in Husavik.
Yeah. Kitties. We did see lots of cats on our trip. Quite a few of them in Husavik.
Yeah.
But some in Reykjavik too. They were really cute.
Really yelling at us.
Yeah.
Fluffy.
Mm-hmm. So cute. The cats of Iceland are well protected. They're well loved there.
Yeah, and you can find them all over TikTok and Instagram and things like that. They're this was, I think, maybe my favorite museum that we went to.
The Husavik
the whale museum, because this is it's a full skeleton of a blue whale.
That's pretty crazy.
Which is really rare to find anywhere. But there was a whole story behind it. They had a blue whale carcass wash up shore years ago, and they were able to get the scientists in there to be like to preserve it. And it's the full thing. It's massive.
It is. It's just one big room of just that.
Just for that one animal. It's crazy to think that those things like actually exist.
Yeah, it is pretty bonkers. That was another thing we did in Husavik. We did a whale watching tour. Husavik and kind of that area of Iceland is really good for whale sightings. It's like highly recommended to do whale trips up there in Husavik or in Akureyri. But it's like 99% guarantee that you will see whales.
Oh, yeah.
And we saw quite a few humpback whales, right?
Yeah, we saw several. The tour guide said that she was guessing they were a good 45 feet long. We saw there was a pod of humpbacks. I think she said we saw an orca at one point, or
remember.
a big, maybe a pilot whale or something. But yeah, we saw quite a few.
Yeah, it was really cool. We don't have any footage.
We get a single bit of footage from it.
We were on this zip boat, and it was so like bumpy, really rocky and stuff like that. We had somebody on our like tour with us who got seasick.
Just thrown up the whole time. Yeah.
So it was very rocky, and there were times where like the lady was shouting "whale, whale," and I couldn't look because I had to like look straight ahead, otherwise I felt like I was gonna be sick. So. It
was a wonderful trip. One of my biggest regrets is not getting any footage from it.
I know. We just have a photo
because it was
of us.
It was so beautiful.
It was beautiful.
We got to see this big island in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it was horizon to horizon ocean. But then this huge like spire sticking out of the ocean just with millions of puffins.
Yeah, a bunch of puffins on it. It was really cute.
That was amazing.
It was a cool thing. I highly recommend whale watching in Husavik. It was awesome. Well worth it. It was cold too. You definitely need your wet weather, cold weather stuff out in the ocean.
Take all the stuff they offer you because it is as cold as they say it is.
Yeah.
Because I mean you're this close to the Arctic Circle, so when you're on open ocean, it is freezing.
So this is the start of the Diamond Circle, like the video name suggests. This is kind of just a short drive from Husavik. Husavik could actually be part of your Diamond Circle adventure, and very much like the Golden Circle near Reykjavik, it's just like a scenic drive where you can stop and see a bunch of like points of interest. So this was just a scenic overlook.
Not captured here because there's no audio, is Lauren yelling at me to get away from the cliff's edge.
Because look how close he is to the edge.
It's
but
nice
this
when
was
people
just-
worry about you.
This is just a scenic overlook along the path before we get to some of the sites. Today was a really windy day.
So windy, like every other day that we've been out in nature in Iceland.
This was really windy.
a
I think
very
you can
windy
really
trip.
see it.
The second stop on our diamond circle.
Here was nuts.
Yeah, see, look at how windy it is. And you can see it in the water. We hover over that water there. So windy. So we're talking, but there's no way we could use any of that audio.
This is a really fascinating piece of geological.
You can see it.
I don't know. It's fascinating over here because it's Sleipnir's footprint. So it's Odin's horse. It's a big U. It looks
That's
like
the legend. It looks like a horseshoe.
It looks like this is where Odin came down from the heavens on his horse.
That's what they say. What the legend says.
Geologically speaking, it's really cool though. It's just
Yeah.
it's just this weird U shape in the
Yeah.
middle of nowhere.
Was the Denny Foss waterfall, which is
Look at the wind.
This was a wild walk too. We didn't realize we had to walk like a mile to get to
No.
Denny Foss.
trek in the very, very cold wind.
But you can see it's so windy. It's actually
It's moving the
it's moving
camera, and you can see like dirt and stuff being
Yeah.
blown up.
Most powerful waterfall in Europe, which you can definitely feel and hear when you are.
You absolutely could.
Even
like
before you see
even
it.
from like the parking lot when
Yeah.
you could see there's no waterfall near you, you could feel it and hear it. It is so crazy. You could hear it over the wind.
It just shook the earth.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Very.
There's my pink jacket. Highly recommend it because you can see yourself in any photo. It wasn't very crowded here at all. I think because it was a really cold day
Yeah.
and just really windy, there were not a ton of people there.
You'll see in the
Oh, you're talking about it. The camera moving.
Well, the wind is so bad it's vibrating the lens, which it's a lot.
Look how pretty that looks, though. Different than Go to Foss and
Right.
the other one. What was the one that we just saw? Because this one is Go to Foss, the one at the end of this video. Look how pretty that is. It's Denny Foss.
But look at Lauren
right?
popping out
the
in her-
pink
in
jacket.
her little pink jacket.
Pink jacket works. So worth it. These are some of my favorite shots.
Circle was Godafoss, which is the waterfall of the gods. Again, I feel like the name is very self-explanatory. When you see it, it definitely looks like the waterfall of gods.
This is probably my second favorite waterfall.
Stops on Diamond Circle and probably part of the whole Iceland trip.
oh yeah, this whole area was just amazing.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah, like the name is perfect. So I was just talking about in the video how it's named Godafoss and it's Waterfall of the Gods. And I was saying like, yeah, when you see it, like the name fits. Like there's no other name for this waterfall.
Just stunning.
It's almost like Niagara Falls in a way.
Yeah.
Just like how many different branches there are. Not that we've been to Niagara Falls, but I've seen pictures.
Someday.
And I've seen Jim and Pam's wedding. There's a lot more people here. This is a big highlight. But look at that. That's incredible.
And I think it was this waterfall, but the reason why it's called Godafoss is because it's probably apocryphal. But I guess there was the tribes were warring over because Christianity was coming to the
Yes.
nation, and so instead of letting the people kill each other, the guys who were pagans, I guess they came there and threw a bunch of their icons into the waterfall and said, "Fine, we'll be Christian,"
Yeah.
and that's how it got its name.
From the pagan gods that were being thrown in.
Yeah,
Look how pretty that is. My goodness.
so much water,
Yeah. And again, like the feeling and the noise from the waterfalls
indescribable. Yeah.
definitely have to be there. It was so blue. This
And clear, like the
And
glacier
clear,
water
yeah.
is so clear.
I think what's cool about all of these waterfalls is like it's just fun exploring, like running around and like getting different angles and finding spots where you could like go down and be close to it, or like, you know, getting all these different areas. It's just fun. You feel like a kid just like running around exploring. Because I think there's a part where you could go down a little bit
I think that was this one. Yeah.
Could see more.
I think that might be where I'm at right now.
Yeah. Because you're a lot closer now.
Because
See, and there's people like down. I'm pointing at the screen. You can't see that. There's people down like even further.
So there's a couple of little trails you can take. This one's tough though because there's a lot of signs that you have to follow. Because if there's any areas where there's any native moss, you cannot go.
Yeah, you can't step on the moss.
It's illegal to step on the moss in Iceland, and don't do it. Follow the signs.
Yeah, because it kills it.
Because it takes thousands of years for that stuff to exist and do its job, and if you step on it, it kills it.
Oh, you can hear the water.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. It's so pretty. This is a good waterfall. It's a good waterfall to end your day on.
Yeah.
In the diamond circle.
Just unreal. The whole trip, honestly, in my mind is just like unreal.
It is. It's like unbelievable that we did it. So pretty. And there was a little cafe near Godafoss where we ate like some food.
Like, look at that.
I know.
That was the place over the bridge we walked, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's how the video ends, is us walking across that bridge.
Mm-hmm. And there was a little cafe, gift shop kind of area over there.
Not half bad pizza. That's these Icelanders. Pizza and ice cream. Big fans of all.
Yeah.
They love that stuff.
So much water. Pink jacket. That's cool. Alright, last video. So this is Snaefellsnes Peninsula. This is like up north of Reykjavik, and this was one of our last days in Iceland, kind of in general. So we did a bus tour. I don't know, we debated for a while about whether or not we were going to go to Snaefellsnes, like what we were going to do, because it's kind of off the beaten trail.
Right.
And there are some areas, so Snaefellsnes is also like a national park, and there are some areas of it that you need like specific like 4-wheel drive. There are some roads that like are just inaccessible to regular people and regular cars. Yeah. And for part of the year, like during the winter, it's not accessible at all.
You need a snowcat to get up there.
Yeah.
If you shouldn't try it, but you would. It's called the West Fjords. That's the whole area.
So we weren't sure, and by the time we had gotten back to Reykjavik, we had seen a lot of Reykjavik, and we still had many days left, and so we decided that we wanted to do this. But we decided to do a bus trip, like a guided trip, because it was so long of a journey and so like big of a deal. We wanted somebody else to do the driving, you know.
So it was a long day.
It was a really long day, and it's hard. It's hard being on guided things, especially after having been on our own for so long, because you're at the whims of other people, and that's never easy or fun.
And there's always usually that one guy who's like testing the rest of the group's patience.
Yeah.
And that definitely happened on this one.
Yeah, there was a guy that was always late to our meetups, and nobody said anything, and it was really irritating. But we saw some really cool, iconic Iceland stuff on this trip.
Yeah. So Kirkjufell is the Game of Thrones. It's in Game of Thrones. It's one of the reasons people go out to Snaefellsnes. It's like one of the big reasons.
Yeah. So Kirkjufell is the waterfall that we're at right now, and then there's the mountain too, which is behind us. And there it is, kind of.
Okay.
Nope.
And there it is. And you only get a peek at it.
Yeah. It's also a very common Windows desktop background, that mountain. Then we had a lot of fun
proud of that photo.
Taking photos at this crater. This was another stop. Devin in his Iceland hat.
I love that photo you took. It's one of my favorite photos.
It's really good. That pink jacket. Got me in a lot of fun taking photos on this part. It was nice because people were driving us, and that's always much appreciated. We had done a lot of driving, and I think we were like watching The Office on my phone and like listening to podcasts and stuff together, so that was nice.
This was my favorite spot that we went to on the trip.
This black sand beach.
Yeah, because it was just so like magical. I keep using that word, but there was like pieces of metal that had washed up on shore from a ship that had sunk. A couple decades ago, and so you were just walking along this black sand beach with these gorgeous waves, and the clouds were coming in, and there was just like pieces of metal.
It was a very cloudy day.
Gorgeous. And there's photo guy who was always like,
that was really cool. There was another beach where like they had warnings about the riptide and stuff. And then we stopped in this little town. It was so cute. We got to do this walk.
It was a gorgeous walk.
This like coastal walk. Which was nice because after being annoyed at being around all these people all day, we were able to kind of just like slow down and be at our own pace.
They said just meet us on the other side.
Yeah. And that was kind of nice. We could do things on our own and take photos and video and just kind of enjoy the scenery, look at the flowers, the birds. It was nice. This also had the troll at the end.
That's what I was going to say.
Little statue.
Yeah, there's some mythology around the statue as well, which is really, really cute.
What's the mythology around it? I don't know if we talk about it.
I can't remember. I think it's something about somebody turning into the statue, waiting for somebody to come back home.
Oh.
Yeah,
that sounds familiar.
You have to look into it for this part of the world, but it was just really fun. It's this squat little stone statue. It's very cute.
Maybe we talk about it.
You were, yes. He was talking about the seafoam for quite a bit in this video before we had to chop it up because it was so windy. Talked about the seafoam. Apparently.
So many birds.
Yeah. A lot of birds on this coastal path. And they like had homes and all these little sea stacks and outcroppings. They're really cute.
It's a good little tune you found.
Thanks. YouTube music. And it was nice because it had that little path, you know?
Right.
You could walk on the grass and stuff. It also just had this path. It's looking in a big hole. See, you can find me. I'm easy to find. My pink hat, my pink jacket. I was wearing a lot of colors.
Yeah.
Green pants, red jacket underneath my pink jacket. That white church, I think, is also really famous. It's also in a lot of like desktop backgrounds and stuff like that. Photos.
So many.
I see that all the time.
So many iconic photo stops in Iceland.
And speaking of, I think our next stop is that. Well, maybe the troll, but then the black church.
The black church, yeah.
The next picture that you're going to see is of this really cool troll statue along that coastal walk that we just saw. And then
which is the black church. It's fascinating history. Definitely more. We need more time to get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think part of the history is that, like, the woman who built it or something. I can't remember. Do you remember the story we were told about it?
I believe it was something like this woman wasn't allowed to be involved in some sort of local church, and so she was just like, screw you guys, and built her own.
Yeah.
But it's been around. It was a very, very, very old church, and I just love the whole idea of it. It's great.
Yeah, I think part of the reason why it's iconic is because it's black.
Well, yeah, because all the other churches are like red and white in
Yeah.
Iceland, and she's like, no, black.
There were a lot of people here when we were here. A lot of people taking photos. You can't go in it, so you just take photos from the outside.
But
you could see there was like...
It was the most popular like photo stop, I think, that we
Yeah.
took that entire trip.
Yeah, it was really popular. There were a lot of like tour groups and bands and stuff there.
church is very crowded. Probably one of the most crowded.
Oh, we literally just said that.
And then our last visit was to
Oh, the seals.
where we could see a lot of
So all on the bottom of the screen there, all those gray lumps are seals.
Yeah.
They were just sunning
Yeah, aren't they
themselves
cute?
on chunky little guys.
Chunky.
My goodness.
And you could kind of hear them. It was fun. You had to like walk really far down this beach and over all these rocks and stuff to get to this area where the seals were.
Yeah, on the bottom of the screen where all those rocks are, that was basically what we were standing on. Just
rocks.
Yeah, rocks.
But it was really cool to see the seals. Another famous beach like spot to stop on the Snaefellsnes. I will say, like, that is the cool part about doing a bus trip is, like, you go to all the sites and they take you there. Oh, that's the end of the video. And then it's pretty neat that they bring you, that they bring you to all of those places.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It was a blast. I honestly wasn't looking forward to the trip.
To the Snaefellsnes
trip. Because it was so last minute. Like, we had debated back and forth on doing it.
Yeah.
But it ended up being worth it because we saw some really, really iconic things, and it was a good way. It was a good kind of last big thing that we did on the trip.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was really cool. Man, how sad it's done.
It was very fun.
That was fun watching all those again.
Looking through them again. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen those videos.
Yeah. They're fun.
I miss Iceland.
I do too. We talk about Iceland all the time, and it's just one of those places that we want to go back to.
We'll get back there eventually.
We will, yeah, probably in the next few years. We have some other big trips that we want to do as well. So, but it's on the list. We'll eventually go there, and this time we'll do a better job filming.
We'll document a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. So we hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching these and supporting our channel.
Yeah.
And if you've been here since the beginning from those original Iceland videos, thank you.
Yeah, and hope this maybe give it a little more insight as to what was going on those trips.
Yeah, they were fun to look back on.
Yeah.
All right, we'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching and supporting us. Bye.